Hi, this is Jamie with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Pyramid of Pengqueen. This is a game in the ice cool world. Actually I showed it to you upside down because that's the title of the game, Pyramid of Pengqueen. This is the game right side up here. I played this for the first time on Saturday, and it is a hidden movement game where several players are competing treasure hunters who are trying to run around this maze and gather specific treasures. Each treasure hunter has a few specific treasures they need to get. And any one of them can win if they gather their fifth treasure. At the same time, though, there's one player who is acting as kind of the bad guy in this game. I think they're like a mummy, an ice mummy, a penguin mummy, and they are trying to catch these treasure hunters and take pieces of their life away until they have enough life to be considered the winner of the game. So it's a hidden movement game, but a competitive hidden movement game, which I think in itself is really interesting, opposed to having a typical one versus many hidden movement game. There's one hidden movement game that I really love. That's Scotland Yard. And in Scotland Yard and pretty much every other hidden movement game that I'm aware of, the person who's sneaking around, the people who are sneaking around, have to keep track of it on some sort of a log. Scotland Yard uses a pad of paper that you write down the location on it, and you cover it up with a token. There's letters to Whitechapel. There's one that I'm blanking on the name of right now, but it's really cool. And basically, Last Friday is really cool. You always have to keep track of where you are. However, in Pyramid of Pengqueen, they do something brilliant. This is a component tied with a mechanism that I think is really, really brilliant and could potentially revolutionize this concept. Maybe give you some ideas if you're working on a hidden movement game. In Pyramid of Pengqueen, this image that I've been showing you is a vertical image. This isn't a board that's lying on the table. This is a board that's sticking straight up in the air, and it's slightly magnetized, and it has this map on both sides of it. So all of the treasure hunters sit on one side, and they're moving around, and the mummy, the ice mummy, sits on the other side, and that person cannot see where all the players are. You can see these little player tokens that are real small down here. So when it's my turn as the treasure hunter, I will move my token according to some dice that you roll. I won't go into that, but I move my token a certain number of spaces along these tracks, and the person on the other side of the table can't see how I'm moving it. However, and I'll link to a video below on my Instagram that shows this happening because it's really cool when it happens. Whenever the mummy character gets a turn, they have this big thing that they're moving on their side of the board, and it corresponds with a token that I believe, it's kind of hard to see, but it's right here. It starts right there. So when they move, all the players on this side get to see that little token move around, which is brilliant. Like the visual of seeing this thing move around, it's magical to see it move, because you're not actually, you know it's another person doing it, but you're not actually seeing them move the token. You're seeing a magnet move of its own accord, apparently. It's just a really, really cool way of doing this. In the example here in this hidden movement game is that we are all the treasure hunters. So we are the ones that are hidden, but because of this vertical board that's magnetized, we don't have to keep track of it, of where we are in a log or anything like that. And the only information that really needs to be conveyed is whenever the queen catches up with one of us and lands on one of our tokens, the magnets snap together, so the queen hears it. So the queen doesn't require confirmation from the other players. The queen player can actually hear the magnets snap together, and they know that they've caught one of us and taken a life from one of us, one of the treasure hunters. As you can tell, I'm so enthusiastic about this idea. I think it's such a cool way of doing a hidden movement game, to use magnets and use a vertical board. And I really think this could be applied to other hidden movement games, or even other hidden games where you have one player has some information and the other player doesn't have that information. I think this magnetized board concept can work really, really well there. And it's executed really well in Pyramid of Pengqueen. So yeah, that's my favorite mechanism in this game. It's more of a component than a mechanism, but it ties so well to the hidden movement mechanism that I really, really love it. That's Pyramid of Pengqueen. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this game in the comments if you've played it, or if you have another game that uses magnets for a magical effect, or a favorite mechanism in a hidden movement game. I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. Thanks.